It is nice and freezing out like always, but just did a little adjusting on the KTM. I'm gonna give you guys a little update because in the last video, kind of left you guys hanging, had a pretty poor outro, but let's go ahead. Let me show you guys the last few things I think I need to do to the KTM before it is like ideal minus cosmetics. What I think I need to do to actually get it race ready, and then we're gonna work on the XL and see if we can't make that thing run a little bit better. Woo. Damn it. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nick and my channel is Olsen Auto. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I upload dirt bike content, car content, Jeep content, everything and anything in between. Let's go ahead, let's talk about this KTM. This is my 04 200 EXC. Gonna be my race bike for the 2021 Enduro race season. And in the last video, we put on this brand new FMF Gnarly and the Turbine Core 2 silencer. Now, I was hoping that would get rid of some of my vibrations. It didn't, and I thought I had a cold start issue, but given how cold it is outside, I was able to start it in like, I'd say 6 or 7 kicks. And that's also with a slightly questionable carburetor and a slightly questionable gas mixture, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think we should be all set. Still probably gonna throw the $30 at the carb, get a nice rebuild kit in there so I know the jetting is proper. And I also realized that this isn't the whole reservoir that's broken. There's actually a little roll pin I can remove, so the clutch should be like 20 bucks to fix. A lot easier than I thought it would. Handlebars, these are bent, need to get new handlebars for sure. And this is what I was talking about. You guys can see there's 2 bolt holes, I believe, and only one of them is being used. Not sure how much I trust that bar clamp setup right here. The upper is different from the lower, and I'm not sure if either are even meant for this bike, so that's got to get fixed. Got to get grips, donuts, bark busters, adjust the chain. I just adjusted the ride height. It feels better, but I won't know until I actually ride the bike. See, like I said, the bark busters are a big thing. Grips, levers. I have to get the radiator supports. There's like a big thick metal one you can get, and then I can actually bolt those down. I have to find a bolt for that. Redo all of the hardware pretty much on the plastics kit. I tweaked my front fender from it sitting in the garage, so probably just fix that up real quick. I have to get a pipe guard because I'm not gonna smash a $400 pipe off a rock on my first race, because it's gonna happen. And other than that, it's just adjusting it and getting it dialed how I want. I gotta get a new brake lever because this one's obviously been broken. And although it's rideable, I'm not gonna ride it like that. It doesn't really need too much, but it does need a decent amount, and I'm not gonna be able to do it all at once. So we are gonna continue to slowly chip away at the KTM, getting it ready for April 25th, the first race of the season. I think there was one earlier, but I didn't go to it because like it's freezing out. I'm good on the snow races, but they may have actually canceled it too. I'm not sure. In any case, we're gonna get it ready for April. We have plenty of time, or at least I'd like to think, but I gotta get it ready rideable soon so I can actually start getting some practice laps in, because if I don't start getting practice laps in like in the next week or two, I'm not going to be able to ride as well as everyone else. So with the little KTM update out of the way, let's go ahead and let's work on the XL, see if we can't make it run a little bit better. And I'll actually show you guys it running because I didn't show that the last time we worked on it. So this is the new gas tank we're running on the XL. I figured the Stop and Shop brand orange juice container looked a lot better than the factory tank. So we got it rigged up. Obviously the old gas tank has some rust in it. I got it fully detailed by Rubino Detailing. However, still has rust on the inside. That's because he wasn't supposed to do that. So I gotta fix that still, put some sealer on it and eat the rust away. But this is bungee corded up, that's held on, battery's connected, and let's see how she runs. That's full choke, no choke. It doesn't, once I rev it up, it dies right out. You can see all that fresh paint burning off the exhaust. I can smell it. Painting that exhaust made it pretty deadly. However, It does run really well. My theory is it's not getting enough gas. So I guess we're gonna turn up the idle screw a little bit, see if that helps. Yeah, because that was with like a little bit of choke on. I just don't think it's getting nearly enough gas. So turn up the idle, see how much better it runs then, because that was with me constantly revving it. Doesn't really want to run unless I'm revving it. So now that it's all smoked out in the garage, give it a second to clear out, and then see if turning up the idle screw helps at all. So I got the tank back on, was using the orange juice container, but I decided to use this Teflon taped the petcock. That's all set up in there. Decided to put the tank back on because I didn't want fuel delivery to be the issue for me. I want to make sure it's as factory as it's going to get, so when I do get it dialed, it's dialed how it's going to be. So this is what we're running. I got to go grab some gas real quick down the road. Check it out. That freshly detailed tank. Shout out to Rubino Detailing. Hit him up. Does a very good job paint correcting. This is a 34-year-old gas tank, and he made it super good. Obviously, you can't really get rid of that, but where he could fix it, he made it absolutely immaculate. So huge shout out, link in the description. Gas acquired. So it still has that little bit of a hesitation, like once every 5 to 6 twists of the throttle. Let me see if it does it. No. So it only does it every now and then. The idle's a bit low, but it runs really good, sounds great. What's left now is obviously all the cosmetic stuff. I have to finish bolting up the air box. Figured tonight we're gonna get the front and rear fenders on, the headlight all situated. Probably do my blinkers too, because that's not really all that hard. But seems to run pretty solid. Idle's, like I said, a little bit low, but runs pretty good compared to when I bought it. Guess it's time to get to work, start bolting it back together. Now, I still have to get my battery situated, because obviously this isn't permanent. Kill this. Obviously this isn't permanent. I have a battery for it that has to be filled, and then obviously I'll get real terminal connectors. That works pretty good. But that's what you have to do. You got your battery, air box, front and rear fender, side number plates, grips, blinkers, bolt this back up, headlight, fix my front brakes, and try to do the speedo, but I'm okay if the speedo doesn't work just because the cable broke when I took it apart. Yeah, we're looking pretty solid right now. Let's start working on the front and rear fender because that's relatively easy, I think. So, got the new rear fender. It's still kind of dirty. Was a little bit of a pain because there's a metal inner fender on the bottom, if you guys can see that. And I also couldn't get the license plate frame rigged up quite yet. That's alright. In the end, it'll take probably 10 minutes to figure out a way to rig it up. But this is what we're looking at, and it does work, guys. Check that out. License plate light underneath. So that works pretty good. Right now what I'm working on is, now that the rear fender is all set and plugged in, working on doing the front fender. And I have to fight the blinkers because I did have these fancy schmancy LED micro blinkers. Comparing the size of the new one to the old one, as you can see, it's a little bit better, but wow, the bike got really hot because I had the bullet heater going. Whoopsie. Anyway, so I'm not able to run those because they actually don't like blink. They just stay on. And both of them stay on. My theory is that since it's an LED and it requires less power, there's less draw, it overpowers the light, and even when it's supposed to be blinking, it's still getting enough power to just stay on. That's alright, we can figure that out, and I think I've decided I'm going to run this front fender as opposed to this one. I just like how it looks a little bit better. Obviously it's not OEM, but neither is that, and neither is any of this, so this will actually look best. I found a bolt that'll thread right in, so I'm going to see if I can mock that up real quick and see how she looks. So it is like 9:30ish at night, and this is where we're at with the XL build. Full rear end. Oh, the battery came disconnected. Oops. I did try to get it running. It doesn't seem like it likes cold start, so you already know tomorrow, or I guess tomorrow, big things for the Prelude. Tomorrow night, probably gonna have to tinker with the carbs a bit more, get it perfect. This doesn't look the best. I'm gonna try to buff it out, clean it up, But this one is for the XL600 and it wouldn't fit. It looks the same, but it's not. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but we did get that new style front fender on there. The LED blinkers hooked up. Although the problem with the LED blinkers is I need to throw a resistor in there. No biggie. Resistors are pretty simple to wire in. It just means I got to do it. And of course we have to set it up for the rear. The rear taillight works. Everything here is bolted down. This is all bolted down. The whole gauge cluster, front fender. All we have left to do is the seat cover, which I'm going to head inside and do right now after editing this video. Got to do the seat cover. Fix the carb so it cold starts, hot starts, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be something on the inside of here, but I'm not sure. I'll have to double check my parts pile. Finish up the air box. And then ride it. That's pretty much all that's left. There's really not too much left to do for this beauty. So having the bike like this is a huge step. In the headlight took a lot of custom wiring to make work. I had to take apart from my CBR 600, not my F2, not my other F2, but my F3. Had to take the headlight plug and connect it all together. A little bit of wiring there. Had to wire in the blinkers and the taillight in the rear. Nothing really too complex. It's white to white, green to green. Simple stuff. Wiring is not hard. And the more I do it, the more interesting it actually becomes. So that's where we're at with this bike. Huge steps taken forward. I mean, just look at it. It looks 10 times better than it did this morning. This morning it literally had not a single plastic on it. Now I got the rear fender, the front fender. This is back on. The tank just has to be bolted. We're making huge strides forward, and it kind of runs. So I am going to end this video here. Like I said, tomorrow, this is going to be Wednesday's. Today is Monday. This is Monday's video. It's actually Friday night. This is Monday's video. Wednesday's video, we're doing some big things to the Prelude. We're going to dial her in absolutely mint. You guys are going to love that video, so be sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be uploading that on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, just like all my other videos that get uploaded Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all at 3 p.m. Eastern, if I can do it. If you guys want to see that, like I said, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button if you want to see the end of this project. My guess is the next video on this bike is going to be the big reveal. So if you guys want to see that, be sure to subscribe as well. Drop down a comment below if you guys have been working on your projects. I've been feeling like super motivated to just get this one done, sell it, and reinvest the money into something else, whether it's stocks or financial securities or another bike or the channel. Not sure yet, but in any case, we're getting really close. And with the headlight working, the blinkers somewhat working, it running somewhat. Wow, everything's a somewhat. Anyway, it's very close, and the next video you guys see on this bike will be the final reveal video, some riding, some cool cinematic clips, it looking all pretty, so can't wait for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this. Back then they would laugh when I say shit. Now I'm inside all them people's playlists. So one day I'll be stomping.